Hey guys, Jessica here. So today we're going to talk about positioning your baby for bottle feeding to make it supportive of breastfeeding. So when we're talking about using the bottle in a way that's supportive of feeding at the breast, what we're talking about is essentially paced bottle feeding. We want to make sure that baby is in a position that they can control the flow. We want to make sure that the bottle is not full with milk so that baby can take breaks. Babies have an instinct that if there's fluid in their mouth, they're going to swallow it to protect their airway. So if you have, this is the position I affectionately refer to as the drink and drown, because when your baby is in this position with a full bottle of milk, how is your baby supposed to communicate to you that they do not want that bottle? They have to be able to take a break in order to send that communication. This baby in this position has no choice but to drink the milk being offered to protect their airway. Does it make for fast bottle feeding? Yes. Is this the position that most of us have grown up seeing babies be fed in? Yes. Does that mean that when, our parents and grandparents did this, they did something wrong? No. It just means that we didn't necessarily have the right education on oral mechanics and how to use the bottle to support breastfeeding. If you are feeding your baby like this, there is a very good chance, unless you just have the world's most happy, easygoing, flexible baby, that they're going to develop a bottle preference. Because if they have good oral mechanics, this is great for them. This is the easiest way to feed. This is passive feeding. But feeding at the breast is active work. So we are essentially creating a situation where baby is going to want to lean towards the bottle versus the breast. Alternatively, if your baby doesn't have oral function or good oral function, we could be creating a feeding aversion because your baby is stressed out when we are feeding them like this. So the same thing that's making one baby happy could be making another one really distressed, but your baby doesn't necessarily have the ability to communicate that to us. So what we want to do, the first position I'm going to show you doesn't require anything but your body. My favorite position to paced feed in is to get baby up in your arms on your chest. I want baby to be able to see you. Eye contact is vital when we are feeding tiny humans. We want to be making eye contact. Baby is propped up in the crook of your arm. If you're out and about, yes, this could get kind of heavy, just like the other bottle feeding position. If you're at home, lean back against a couch, lean back against a chair, use pillows to support your body as you support baby. But now we've got baby in this nice little position, and we're keeping the bottle level, and we're giving little breaks. And this way, baby has an opportunity. When the bottle is down, baby can kick that nipple out of their mouth. Baby can communicate with us that they are not liking what we're doing. They can end the feed on their terms. And this gets a little perplexing for some people because we talk about, well, your baby needs 3 ounces every 3 hours. Okay, great. But your baby might actually prefer to have 2 ounces this morning and then maybe three at the next feed. And then maybe after that, maybe we're just a little hungry, just one like a little ounce. That is what babies do at the breast. Babies eat different amounts at every feed. And that's normal because just like humans, we don't eat the same amount at every feed or the same thing. But this gives your baby a chance to communicate that. If you are prioritizing trying to utilize some of the benefits of breastfeeding, which one of them is intuitive feeding, and your baby learning when they're full and stopping when they're full, if we're trying to do that with a bottle, this is how we do it. If you are sitting in a chair and need to lean back, you can also hold baby same position. We're just changing. So now baby's laid back against my chest. This was one of my little one's favorite feeding positions. He just loved to be up on the chest, and he expected to be like up here, I swear, because he just wanted to be up in my business, which was, he still is. He's 4, he still wants to be in my business. But he really liked being up on my chest like this. So I would sit in a reclined chair like this. It was great for keeping my arms from being tired. And again, we just did the feedings real close. And this is actually the one that I love for skin to skin with bottle refusal babies when we're trying to reincorporate the breast being a good thing. Because up here, the breast is not like actively in their face. But it does allow us to do some skin to skin. And then we can just slowly start inching baby towards the breast. And then, babies love things that are normal. And if last feeding they were here and this feeding they're there, it's really not a dramatic change. So it's unlikely that your baby is going to be super stressed out by it. But that is, that's a good way to do it. This is also good for our babies who need sideline. That's when we really need to make sure that they have that ability to let the fluid drain from their mouth if we're having too much fluid in their mouth. You can also use a pillow to get baby in front of you. If you're doing this, you're going to want to have, you can use one of the fancy breastfeeding pillows. Those are actually great for this, but your regular bed pillow does too. So for this, I just have my feet kicked up on a shelf, but you could have it on a footrest. So for this, you're either going to be holding baby in this position. So it does look like baby's reclined, but again, we're feeding like this. We're not face feeding. We're not doing this. We don't do this. This is just a very strange iteration of drink and drown that we're not going to do. Or we can roll baby on their side, which is, again, a really great bottle feeding position. I love this position for babies who are having feeding trouble, but you know who else I like this for? For my distracted 3 and 4 month old bottle feeders who want to see everything their older siblings are doing. Here we go, baby. You can see everything big brother and big sister are doing over here, and you can also take your bottle. And that can be a really good strategy for some families when we're having feeding trouble. Feeding trouble changes by the age, and it's different for every baby. So those are the positions that I recommend utilizing for bottle feeding, especially when we're trying to keep a baby going between breast and bottle. Your lactation professional may recommend something different, and that's okay. I may recommend something different to my private clients based on what I'm seeing, based on what their baby needs. But these are the positions that I feel like parents should be aware of because, again, most of us think this is how we bottle feed. And unfortunately, this is actually undermining your goal if your goal is to keep baby at the breast. So just say no to the drink and drown. Utilize one of these other positions, and we're likely to get a better outcome. And again, if you're struggling with feeding, reach out. Reach out to a lactation consultant who is happy to meet you with whatever your feeding situation looks like. Whether that's myself, whether that's one of my amazing colleagues that are out there, reach out and get help because feeding your baby should be a pleasurable thing. And we want it to be pleasurable for you and baby because it's just something we do a lot with very new babies. We're feeding them for hours a day. I want it to be pleasurable. I want it to be a bonding experience. I don't want it to be a stressor. So hopefully that helps, and let me know if you have any questions.